Okay, coming on to psychedelic transhumanism.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
Okay, I think that there are several streams within transhumanist culture. One of those streams is more hedonic, more leading towards the idea that human beings can spend time in ecstatic states, and that the use of certain psychedelic drugs that don't increase intelligence necessarily in the IQ sense, but which allows us to shift perspectives radically, should be considered a cognitive enhancer. And there are a number of cases in which this is proven to be the case, including the fellow who co-discovered DNA. His name is escaping me right now.
Crick, Francis Crick, I believe is.
Crick, who it's been acknowledged was using low-dose LSD frequently around the time that he came up with a lot of his perceptions around this. And there's always the example of Steve Jobs as one of many people within the digital creative world who has spoken about taking inspiration and insight from psychedelic drugs. And Timothy Leary, who is probably the person who is most associated with LSD and psychedelics during the 1960s, became one of the first transhumanists, although that word wasn't in use in the mid-70s, when he decided that space migration, intelligence increase, and life extension were the perfect goals for the human future. And so there's always been this sort of psychedelic contingent within transhumanism. And it's controversial. I mean, a lot of people are very much attached to the idea that intelligence is logic, and artificial intelligence, as we know it, is primarily associated with the use of logic, and that sort of pushes the ideas of insight and intuition and the sudden occurrence of vision into the background. And psychedelic transhumanists are sort of an alternative view in which vision and ecstasy and intuition and sudden insights are embraced as part of human creativity and part of our potential to evolve beyond the ordinary states of humanity.
Okay, good. What have quadcopters got to do with transhumanism?
Jay, you want to take quadcopters?
Yeah. Well, the whole the whole drone thing that's been going on for in recent years. I guess it was a bit of a stretch to put it in the book, but it definitely fits in with robotics, with even with distributed cognition and augmented reality in a way too. That it's more eyes and ears around, and also one of the trends that we talk about in the book is how technology often starts off as a very limited, expensive thing that only governments and universities and rich people can afford, say, computers in the 1950s, and then suddenly everybody in the world is carrying one around in their pocket. And the recent advances in drone technology have made aerial photography and aerial surveillance something that's available to the average person. And that's sort of just part of this democratization of technology, part of the spread of knowledge and awareness and sensors that we're hooked up to computers. We can communicate with to people on the other side of the world instantly, and now there are people who are flying quadcopters around and watching demonstrations or wars or whatever.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to actually say something about the nature of the book, because aside from our own writings, the materials in the book are supplemented by quotes from writings and interviews with other people who contributed materials to H Plus magazine when I was the editor there, and some people who also contributed to a online site called Accelerator with an 8 in the place of the AT, if you can figure that out. And one of the reasons Quadcopters is in the book, frankly, is because one of the writers for Accelerator had a great deal of enthusiasm for Quadcopters and really projects some transhumanist ideas onto Quadcopters. And if people want to look that up, they could Google Accelerator and Quadcopters, and you could add "Are you serious?" to that, so that you get to the right Accelerator site. And you can find out why this person really associated quadcopters with some very extreme and transhumanist sorts of ideas.
Cool.